Welcome back. Thought I would do a quick update on what stuff looks like in the grow room, aka my basement, and talk a little bit about how I keep track of all this. I haven't mentioned it, I don't believe, in a previous video, but I do have I think, kind of a cool system for keeping track of what's happening, and that's influenced a lot of the decisions that I make, not only in terms of when I start things, but then also what I do with them as they go. So, a couple quick updates here. These are all the strawberry transplants that I did a few weeks ago. About 75% of them have come up. Some look really, really good. I've got 3 flats now of the good stuff that I think is going to be fine. And then I've got a flat of the ones that are a little bit questionable. Interestingly, about half of them look like they're doing okay, so we'll see. I've been planting a lot of miscellaneous stuff this week. I've got some asparagus, I've got some strawberries, I even did, I have them upstairs right now, but I have some cool season fast growing tomatoes to try. These are my leeks and onions, still going strong. I do let these grow pretty slow early in the season, just because I don't want them to bulb up and get real big until it's time to actually plant them out. And then I've got some shallots I tried. I got those from seed, and then I have all of my flats of flowers. Those are going to show up. Anyway, so how do I keep track of this? In the past, I've used the great old note card method. I color code my note cards. I keep track of what I plant, when I plant, and then what's in the rows. I like this method in terms of its flexibility. This is one from last year, so I'm writing down which flat it is, second flat of hot peppers I had, and then in what rows what's there. My biggest struggle with that was not knowing once they got tall enough or large enough to grow out. So if I'm planting in 128 cell like these leeks and onions, what do I do when I move them up to the jumbo 6-packs? So all of a sudden 128 doesn't fit equally. What do I do? How do I keep track of that? So my new method this year is to actually use a Google Doc, which I'm trying to be good about updating. And in that Google Doc, I am making a note. See if I can zoom in enough there. I don't think that's going to come out clear. Trying to make a note of what I plant, when I plant it, and then the differences or the divisions within that flat. So if I'm looking at something like these cabbage that I'm going to do, I'm going to make a note that this is a 50 cell flat and that I'm doing 10 of each variety. And I'll even write down if I'm doing 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever seeds per cell, just so I kind of know what's going on. Once that happens, I label them and I number them. So I have the first flat that I planted for 2024 is flat 1, and it is leeks. The second and third flat were onions. And from there, my hope is that I can then branch off to say this is, if I'm doing something that I'm going to upplant. So the flowers, perhaps. This is flowers 2. This is primrose, this is black-eyed Susan, stock, and some straw flowers. If I'm gonna pot these up, I'm gonna label all of those as flower 17B, so that I know this is from flat 17, but then this is the second version of that, or the second location. I've never done that before. I don't know how well that's going to work or how confusing it might get, but I'm hoping it'll keep things a little bit more clear. As the season progresses, I end up with somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 flats. And it covers the floor in here. I have a second one of these shelves I'm going to put together in the next couple of weeks, which will take care of a lot of the other stuff. But there's a lot of flats, and it's a lot to keep track of. And when I go to plan for next year, I like to know what I did and how it worked. For example, I'm doing a lot of herbs and things in these 32 cell flats. They're a little bit shorter, but I think they'll give the herbs, if I do a clump of herbs, for example, give them more room to grow. I purchased last year some leeks and onions from a local place, and they were doing them in 288 cell flats. So I feel like if I do the 128s, most of the time thin them down to 1 per cell, I should be pretty good to go. So anyway, that's kind of the method that I've been using. We'll see how it works as the year progresses. I'm hoping to put together a little bit more of a flow chart, if you will. How things start down in the basement, how long do they grow, what do they do as they grow, and then what does that look like in the garden, so I can really use that information for next year. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.